Mm-hmm.
All right, Gene, and we're live with that. So, welcome to another night of Release to Quacken. We are here tonight with our guests. We got Lonnie with us. We have Gene. We got Jody. We got Kevin, and we have one of I think Gene's students back from high school when Gene was a teacher, Joey. So we're excited to have him joining us as well. They said he knew each other for 35 years, so we figured he had to have been whenever he was in school with him as his student, and Gene was a teacher. So,
It's called
so,
Mad Dog Murdoch for short.
Mm-hmm.
so how's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome. Good.
All right. Um, so last week we had a big week of training. We did what 5 and 15. Is that what was on the schedule for most of us?
Yep.
How'd that go? Let's start with you, Lonnie. How'd that go for you?
Oh, training went well. Did my 2 maintenance runs. Did the 5.5 on Friday this time, and on Saturday I got up, hopped on it, got to mile 14, and my wife asked me if I wanted to go to the park and walk with her. So end up walking 4 miles. I just stopped running in the at mile 14, hopped in the car, drove to the park, and then walked for 4 miles. So
Nice.
got my miles in.
Overachiever.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what about you, Kevin? You're back getting into the swing of things this week? Easing back
So
into it?
not quite. I'm still taking it a little bit easy. I skipped this long run week and did my 2 maintenance runs during the week. First one, I walked quite a bit just to make sure everything was going to be okay. And second one, I pushed it a little harder and got my time back to where it was before I got sick. So
Nice.
I'm hoping to jump back into it this week, and then I'm guessing I'll probably try not to make up for this last week and just go roll right into the normal training plan following week 15, which is where we got coming up.
Good deal. Jody, are you in taper mode for yours, or do you have some long mileage again this week?
I did not have long mileage. I had what was called the Mind of a Marathoner training run. So I did my normal 45 minutes, but then my Saturday run, it was 15 to 20 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes warm up run, and then the next 3 miles you were supposed to run your first mile 1 minute slower than race pace, your second mile at your what you want to be your race pace, and your third mile faster than your race pace. And then you did a cool down 10 minutes. So that's what I did. It was hard. I felt like I was watching my watch the whole time to make sure that my pace was correct, because I'm not great at pacing. I just kind of go with the flow, and every mile is different. So but I did it. I did it in the correct prescribed formula. So I was glad about that. I'm getting a little nervous. I don't know why. I mean, I've done this race before. I think it's just the excitement of it all. It's an incredibly hilly course, which I think I've shared with you all before. Lots and lots and lots of hills. And even though I've trained on hills, I think it's a mental thing. So yeah, Saturday morning, I'll be at it. So
Is there bacon
Nice.
on court?
I don't know. I don't eat anything ever on the courts anyway, so it doesn't. This is where an all female. It's part of the Flying Pig umbrella, but this is mainly an
Mhm.
all female race. It's called the Queen Bee. So I'm not sure if they. I don't know. I know there's like Twizzlers, but I don't eat any of that stuff. So I don't
Girls,
really.
girls like bacon sometimes.
I love bacon, but not when I'm running.
Yeah.
I didn't know Beyonce was running this race with you.
Yes,
Queen Bee.
yes, she is.
So is that big hill that's in the Flying Pig, is it in this race too?
Kevin, that big hill is the start of the race.
Oh my goodness. They
That's
just
how
beat you down right in the beginning, huh?
you start with a climb, a major, gigantic,
Mm.
humongous climb. And that's not even the worst hill in the race, believe it or not. There's one that's worse at like mile 8. So,
Wow.
Nice.
yeah, it's going to be tough, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It was my very first half marathon. So, a couple, years ago, when I didn't think I could ever run that far. So it's got sentimental value. So
Good.
we'll see.
What about you, Mean Gene?
Yeah.
How's your
So
weekend?
I shared with most of y'all. I felt pretty bad this week. The later part of the week, I got my 2 maintenance runs, and I walked 5.5 on Friday, but I started feeling bad on Wednesday, and by Saturday I wasn't feeling very well. Today I've watched football and slept
like literally all day long. So I just got out of the bed, not the bed, my recliner, my day bed, to eat something and do this with you guys. And so I am just modifying my training, and I kind of crowdsourced that, which one of the benefits of being with a group is I asked, all my running partners what their opinion was, what I should do. Should I soldier on? Should I take a rest? And my wife advised me to rest. You guys all advised me to rest. So that's what I did. So, it's still early enough in training I can make it up. So I don't feel like I'm, falling too far behind. I actually was behind 2 weeks ago with the 13 miles, and I was able to make that and did it fine. So it's going to be fine. I just need to get a little bit better.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of time, man. A lot of time.
Yep.
All right, Joey, we were talking a little bit before we got started. You are doing the Dopey again this year. Is that the plan?
Absolutely. I'm in with Dopey. First time I met Lonnie was Dopey 2020. Gene had to fall out that time. And so Lonnie got stuck with me. And so it was a little bit of an adventure, but it was a great experience. And so now I'm coming back, going to do it again. My training went well this week. So I work 6 days a week. And so it's really hard sometimes to get some of these runs in. I get about 14,000 steps a day at work with about 8 or 10 flights of stairs. So,
Wow.
So my time on feet is really, it's there, and I'm doing stuff. So some days my runs have to be on weird days. So, and it was homecoming weekend for my stepkids this weekend. So it was, so I actually got up this morning before church while everyone else was asleep and did my 15 this morning. So
nice.
You just got to kind of make it work when it works. It's been rough all summer. It's been really hot down here, and I've got a nagging knee injury that's been giving me some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm here to tell you, I've heard a lot of guests on your show, and they give some really good stuff. And I hate to let everybody down. I'm not going to be that good. But look, my message is for those guys out there, the guys who are a little bit overweight and the guys who are out there with some struggles. And my message is listen to your body and keep doing what you need to do. And so, anyway, I love doing this, and hope to keep doing it. So, but yeah. Oh, and by the way, thanks for having me. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. So
we need like a little belter ring, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I'm excited you get to join us up in January. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Good deal.
And what about you, Jeff? How was your training week?
Still, again, modified training for the next few weeks. I can get back to limited running here, hopefully in about 9 days. So we're looking to start busting out the intervals there. Increase my mileage. Last week I did, I think 10 miles. This week is only 9. But I'm trying to increase the pace a little bit of my walks, and I did longer miles. So I did a 2-mile walk, I did a 3-mile walk, and today I did a 4-mile walk. So, and I think 2 of the 3 were faster than Balloon Lady pace in my walking thing. So those were feeling pretty good. So hopefully whenever I can get cleared to run again, we'll be not quite as bad as shape as what I thought I was going to be coming into this. So fingers crossed. We'll find out here in a few weeks.
There you go. Good.
Doing great.
We're doing something. So
you heard Joey. Listen to your body. Don't rush it.
Yeah, that's the key. Because we're all going to get little things and even big things through the training plan, and just listening to your body is the key. If you don't, then I've been there before too, and you push it too hard, then you're out a whole lot longer than if you just waited and been patient.
Especially if it's your hips, because they don't lie.
Hips do not lie.
They don't.
They don't. They never lie.
Listen to them.
We really should just end the show on that one. I don't think they can go anywhere else from there. But Joey, so why do you do this? What is your rationale for wanting to put yourself through Dopey, for wanting to hang around with Gene and Lonnie and the rest of us for 4 or 5 days or whatever? Why put yourself through that much torture?
So, it's cheaper than therapy, first off. I have a love-hate relationship with running. Played organized sports my whole life. Played Division I college football. And
Where'd you play, Joey? I don't remember.
I played at LSU, Louisiana State University.
Oh, nice.
I was a linebacker. And so to give you a little backstory, during the off season, twice a week we would run distance, and most times it would just be 3 miles, a 5K. We'd run campus, and there would be little signs periodically. They're like a Burma Shave commercial. You had to remember the the words when you got back to prove that you had been everywhere. And from my position, we had to finish. I was a linebacker. We had to finish in 20 minutes or less, or else we had to do it again.
Oh,
So this was before 5Ks really were in favor in Baton Rouge area, but we would have won just about anything they would have had that weekend, anytime when we did it. So so you get to the point where you can kind of get your breathing where you need it to be and go do the runs. And so I knew that was a necessary evil, is what I did. Several years go by and I kind of got away from running. And so my wife, mother of my children, she didn't want to do what I wanted to do. She didn't want to hunt, didn't want to fish, didn't want to play golf. So she wanted to run. So I started running. And I started doing the St. Jude Marathon Weekend in December in Memphis. Great organization, great thing to do. And I fell in love with the city. So so we would do that. And then we did the Star Wars half marathon in at Disneyland in 2015, which started me on my Disney runs. And it was Disney and Chick-fil-A, they just screwed up for everybody because they do it right, you know, and you hold everybody else to a higher standard later. So I said, well, I want to start doing some Disney stuff, but the budget doesn't allow me to do it, you know, as often as I wanted. And so this just, it lets me get my body in a little bit better shape, and I can just get in a headspace and leave my stresses at the door and go for a run, get my endorphins. So it's just a great thing. I'm fascinated with Disney, not necessarily the fantasy and the movies and all, but the logistics of that place. I love running, and we get to go backstage a little bit and go do some of the stuff. And it's just a worthwhile trip. And you know, like I say, Gene's been my friend since high school. Lonnie, he's like a brother to me. I've only met him a couple of years ago, but you meet some really good people, and it's just a great experience. It's not a destination; it's a journey.
that's right.
Sure.
It is.
Joey, I may have missed it. Have you done Dopey before?
So I did Dopey 2020, and I actually came up short. I got to shake hands with the balloon ladies. So that was the really, really hot year. It was
so miserable.
It was brutal. It was brutal. People were falling out left and right. I was keeping a fairly good pace and going. They were gaining on me, and it was inevitable. I didn't think I was going to make it. So I'm going to be honest with you. When I got to the animal kingdom, I said, you know what? I don't even have a ticket for today, but I got in line for the Expedition Everest, and I rode the roller coaster. Even though they were right hot on my behind, I just went and rode the roller coaster. So let's do this.
Hey man, you went out like a Viking.
That's right, baby. That's right. I love that.
So yeah, I didn't make it. They caught me, put me on the bus, and I was very disappointed in myself. You know, I've had a lot of failures in my life, and that was one of my bigger ones. I was really disappointed. So I went back. We were staying at Riverside. I went back, got back to the hotel, and before I took a shower, I said, you know what? I was like 18 and a half miles in this. Let's go finish a marathon. So I actually ran around Riverside for a little while like a crazy person, and I got my miles in. I did more than y'all did that day because it was cut short that day, and I did a full marathon. So, so I didn't get the ears, I didn't get all the medals, but I got
did it.
I did what I said I was going to do.
Hey, you completed Dopey.
That's
in my
right.
mind.
That's amazing. And you know, you're saying you're disappointed, but listen, you ran a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and 18 miles, and then you went and ran all the rest by yourself. I would have. You deserve a medal and then some. You did.
And you rode Everest.
Didn't do it.
You made it at Everest.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'd never been more than 20 miles when I started that race that morning. I'd never been marathon distance. So, you know, it was hey, we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna get through this. And I'm a big guy. I'm close to 300 pounds. So I mean, that's a lot of beef hitting the ground every time I take a step. So anyway, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make it this year though. Yeah, I might be 18 steps in front of the balloon ladies, but we're gonna make it this year.
Yeah, we're all gonna make it.
You got it. And I told Jory, I remember we had a conversation when I got back to the room to Riverside, and I said, dude, you got to get yourself some slack because it was hotter than Hades. Kevin knows that's the one when people were just passing out.
It was so bad.
We started late because, you know, the buses got lost. It was just a whole lot of shenanigans going on. So it's just, dude, it was just a lot. That was just a lot. You weren't even there, Gene, so you can't.
No, I know. We make a lot of jokes about we tell our kids don't talk to people on the internet, don't go meet people you don't know, and that's what we do. And that's what So Joey and I've been friends for a long time, and Lonnie and I done Dopey a few years before, and then Lonnie done it again, and I was supposed to go, and so I organized this trip with me and Lonnie and Joey, and then I had to back out. I mean, literally at Christmas. we had some family stuff going on, and they soldiered on, and I kept up with them over, by phone and try to keep up with what was going on. And, so I had a little bit of FOMO there with that, but man, you guys were troopers through that whole deal, just hearing all the stories about it, and Joey, I don't want you to, I feel the same way. Don't sell yourself short. There's a whole lot of people that don't even attempt that, and don't even attempt. And how many people, I don't know that I would have gone back to Riverside and run around the place. I'm going to go ahead and say I wouldn't. I'd have probably just gone to a park or something, or
ran to the food court.
Dedication.
That's right.
Yeah, I went to order to get a beignet, and that's about it.
Well, I know I had a couple of days until Joe Burrow was going to win the national title, and I didn't want to feel that bad about myself when I watched it. So I went ahead and got my miles in.
And I would have to say this year, if Everest would have been open, there's a good chance I would have rode Everest and just bailed on the race coming through Animal Kingdom too.
Animal Kingdom was a dark time for all of us.
It was. It was a testing of the soul.
It was.
How Bain said it was. It's torture, but not of the body, of the soul.
Yeah. Of the soul. I looked down, and I think I'd probably had about 10 times the daily dose of Advil by that point. And it was pretty rough.
And those were the miles that we kind of slowed down a lot because you guys thought I was still in the restroom, and I was about 3/4 of a mile ahead of you, and you thought I had died in the bathroom before and trying to wait for me to catch up. So,
and that's another thing that I think is going to work in your favor, Joey. Is I found that when Lonnie and I ran the first time, and we had somebody else with us, we were she was kind of undertrained, and we were able to kind of help her along, and then help each other along. And then this last time, however many of us were together that were running,
7.
I mean there were 7. Okay, at some point. Somebody was struggling at some point, and at some point, somebody was encouraging, lifting up, not quite physically carrying, but almost,
really close,
passing out mustard, and salt tablets. And we were sharing all of our stuff, and, it was good. It was the thing that, if I could say, man, the thing that I've gotten the most out of this whole deal is that piece of it. The first time, it's what brought me back, and it's what's bringing me back this time is just the whole group effort. And I don't think that I could do this by myself. Matter of fact, I know I couldn't.
You don't want to do it by yourself. It's no fun by yourself.
No, and you're right, Gene. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, when the race, when me and Joey, we got separated, and literally on the back end, I thought I was going to be finished, right? And if it wasn't for Ray and for Chris and Elaine and Alex running up on me and saying, "Come on, man, we'll run with you," I probably wouldn't have finished because it was just too hot. It was too much just concrete I'm looking at. I started seeing stuff. I was like, is that Mickey doing a photo stop? That can't be. I mean, it's like in the middle of nowhere. And they're like, that is. And I'm like, all right, let's stop. And it was little stuff like that, right? That to get us through it. So you're right, man. It's a team effort for that.
Yeah.
It's a team effort.
I learned to save my legs too. I went too hard on the 5K and the 10K. Was like, who are you trying to impress? And I was burnt out by the time the marathon got there. So a little bit of management for that goes a long way. And so a lot of tricks I picked up. And so ready to go this year.
You know how fast Joey ran those races? I got back to when I finished the finish line for the 5K, I called him. It's like, "Hey, dude, where are you?" He's like, "Oh, dude, I'm in the room. I'm already showered. I'm ready to go." I'm like, "Dude, it's a 5K, man." So he finished the race, got to the bus, went over to Port Orleans, showered, and was ready. I felt bad. I was holding him up. I was like, "Dude, I just finished," and I could tell he was disappointed. He was like, "You just finished?" I'm like,
I thought I'd missed you. I thought you were waiting on me somewhere. I'm like, "Oh man, I got to hurry up." So hey, I got to tell you this too, though. So there are a lot of things at Disney I haven't done. A lot of things, just stuff. We took the kids. We were on a budget and on a timetable and trying to go. So like Epcot Center, I've never been to the Worlds except for when I ran through them for the runs. Mm-hmm. And so I got a little adrenaline boost when I ran through there because I'd never been that place before. And then you running through. I took the earbuds out, and I'm listening to the Disney music, and I'm seeing the French people and the whatever people and the
South American,
absolutely, yeah. So yeah,
It's
so
special for Gene.
I found another gear. Yeah.
So you said that you failed, but none of us agree with that.
No.
What do you look differently whenever you're planning to do with this? Is there something? I mean, other than 4 finish lines, I know is a goal. Is there a redemption thing for you in your mind of coming down to do it? Do you have something differently that you want to do?
No. So the first time in, I really didn't know what to expect. 4 races in a weekend. That's all I really knew. And so I had no management for that. I've done some triathlons. And matter of fact, I saw the other day someone posted there used to be a Disney triathlon. I really wish they would start that back up. But so the triathlon stuff taught me different things than what the running piece does. Those people are bohemians. They're crazy. And the way they do, they're different, the different disciplines. And there's a position in the triathlon, it's DFL, dead freaking last. And that guy gets cheered just as loud as the guy who wins this race, right? Because he's gutting it out. He's out there trying to push and everything. So my first triathlon, it's a really short distance. I wasn't prepared. I had a $60 Huffy from Walmart that I bought secondhand from somebody. And I'm out there going, and I'm just struggling. But you know what? I'm going to finish this. And so it was a 3-mile run, just mile and a half out, mile and a half back. And when I get to the water station, there's a guy there. And I am literally – there's no one close to me. I'm in last place. And when I got to the water station, they're ready to pick stuff up. And I said, man, you can pick it up. There's nobody behind me. I'm last. And he was actually competing in the race, and he pulled up and showed me his bib. And his number was DFL, dead freaking last. He said, no, sir, it's my job to be that. I'm running with you.
Oh, wow.
So that guy, that guy was awesome. And if I can do anything to help anybody, that's what I want to do. And so, hey, look, you know what? I didn't finish Dopey that year, but I lapped everybody who was still on the couch that day.
Yep.
That's right.
So, just constantly moving forward. This is just something I said I was going to do it, and I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Nice.
That's a good attitude.
Yeah, great attitude.
So what are you looking forward to the parks? You said that you hadn't been to the full Epcot experience. Is there anything you're looking forward to for that part whenever you're down there?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously hanging out with me is going to be the highlight. But.
Oh, absolutely. So I've already given Gene and Lonnie my list. There's a couple of things I haven't done, and so I want to try to do that. I haven't ridden Slinky Dog. Obviously,
nice.
haven't done Guardians because that was that one hasn't. It's just now opened. And so look, don't get mad at me. I hear y'all's other broadcasts, and I hear all the stuff y'all talk about. I've never eaten anywhere fancier than Cosmic Rays at Disney World. That's the fanciest meal I've had there. And so I'm not ashamed of that. That's how it works. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And so Disneyland was a whole different experience because Dad planned that trip and we blew some coin. We did a few things, but Disney World was a little bit different. So, and honestly, I've told Lonnie and Gene before, treat me like I'm a 4-year-old that hasn't been there before. Let me see your Disney. Show me
we'll have fun with you. Yeah. It'll be fun taking you around like that.
Yeah. If you look down on the screen, you'll see the master planner for all great meals, Jody, and she'll make sure that that changes. You get a little bit better than Cosmic Rays.
I don't know. I think I told you guys this. I fell in love with this Greek salad at Cosmic Rays. I've never eaten there before, and I just needed a salad. They had this awesome Greek salad there, so you never know. I may be at Cosmic Rays
You're
myself.
pretty good.
Hey, the chicken tenders are good at Cosmic Rays too. Love them.
Burger.
Burger and tenders. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Joey, that's how it is every single time I go with Lonnie, because with my family, it's always it's cheer stuff. And so we're eating at the resort most of the time. We might get 1 or 2 meals. But Lonnie's always got something going on. And so that's when I've experienced it, so it's going to be good, man.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a good deal.
I'm going to be at Disney World. It's a great experience already.
I know it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about week 14 and how that went.
Hold on. I have a question.
Sorry.
Jeff,
Jeff.
I always have a question for our guests. It's my same question, but everybody needs to know, where do you stand on costumes? Are you a costume wearer? Are you a workout clothes type of person? Where do you stand on costumes?
Okay, so I'm a big guy, so I don't want to draw attention to myself. I'm not really a costume person, but I will say this: when we did the Star Wars run in LA, we pre-planned. So my boy's mother, we're not married anymore, but she went at Halloween and bought the sexy Princess Leia costume or whatever it was. It was a white tennis skirt basically, and she wore white tights, and she was Princess Leia. She ran in costume, and so not to be outdone, I wore camo cargo shorts over a pair of tights and a Jedi Knight t-shirt, and I had a Camelback and a Yoda backpack. So I ran through like that. So that was about as close to a costume as I'm going to get. I will
Did
say,
y'all kiss like brother and sister, like Luke and Leia?
absolutely, Alabama style.
We just lost all Alabama listeners.
Nice.
Hey, go Tigers! I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this: on Friday, though, I will be full blown Marine Dad mode for the 10K. My youngest son's a Marine, and he'll be deployed actually while we're doing the run. He deploys in November, so I will have my Marine Dad clothes on, and I'll be wearing my red shirt on Friday for Remember Everyone Deployed. So I invite all y'all to wear it with me. You don't have to, but I absolutely will. And actually, my Marine will be home next week, and I look forward to having some training runs with him. I'm gonna let him slow down a little bit and do some runs with the old man.
Nice.
Please tell your son thank you for his service. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I will.
We'll definitely take a moment that Friday and give him some love from the Ducks. So
absolutely,
sure.
That's fantastic.
Joey, tell us what you do, because I'm kind of fascinated by it. Tell everybody what you do.
Okay, I have a checkered past. So I'm an iron worker by trade. And so I worked maintenance and construction my whole life. I work for Entergy. I'll go ahead and say it. I work at the nuclear plant down here in New Orleans, and I recently took a position as a project manager within the site projects, not major fleet. And so I've been working nuclear plants since the early '90s. I've seen a lot of stuff. The industry's changed drastically, but yeah, it's I love it. I love every aspect of it.
So you'll be the one that's easy to find in the mornings at 3 a.m. because you'll
glow. Glow.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but I had to sleep with a mask on because he was glowing.
It is what it is, guys. It's cancer treatment. It's free radiation.
Yeah, he keeps the light on.
He's a human nightlight.
That's right.
All right, Jody, am I safe to ask?
Now you can go. Now I've asked my question. You're allowed
Are you
to
sure?
go.
Does anybody else have any other? I don't want to step on toes here. Does anybody else? All right. So what do we got looking like for week 15? Anybody have that pulled up, or
Jody got it taken care of?
I've got it. If you don't,
Kevin's got it tonight because I'm not in the office, so Kevin's in charge.
Okay, so this week the Dopey plan has the standard 45-minute 2 days, Tuesday, Thursday, and then on Saturday a 3-mile run.
That's going to feel fantastic. I might actually do this week. This might be a normal week for me. I think I can handle that.
I'm looking forward to this slow week.
I'm sure.
You all, when you finish 3, just remember I have 10 more to go on Saturday. So
you just check in. We'll be keeping up with you. Send us the bid numbers so we can follow you along. And on that note as well, guys, just going to send a shout out. Congratulations to Katie. She joined us a couple of weeks ago. She ran the Portland Marathon today. I checked on her, saw how she was doing, and she was eating a pizza and had a whole box of donuts. So congratulations to you, Katie. Put back in what you ran.
Congrats, Katie. It was a hot day. It was a hot day up there too, I think.
Yeah, we've had some great people. Well, James just finished his marathon. He was on a couple weeks ago with us. He finished the marathon up in Minnesota, St. Paul. So that was exciting. And he had been struggling with training. So that was pretty impressive. And Andrea just finished in Berlin. So we've had a lot of people do some pretty big races. It's fall. It's supposed to be race time. It's not so hot anymore. So.
And I think Brenda and Paula both got a 10-miler in today too.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Good.
Yep. Anything from you, Joey, you'd like to add before we sign off for the evening?
No, just thanks for having me, guys. I look forward to meeting all of you when we get down there in Orlando. And so keep it up. Keep the pace.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, on behalf of the rest of the Duck crew that we have here and our special guest this evening, Joey, have a great night, everybody. And remember that forward is a pace.
For sure.
Thanks, everybody.
You guys.
Thanks, Joey.
Good night.
Thanks, Joey.
Night, Joey.